Sports is a multi-billion-dollar industry across the globe. And in India, it's not passion anymore, but also full-time profession. To facilitate the rapid growth and development of sports, the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports along with FICCI held the first edition of India Sports Expo 2014, stimulating sports development in India. This mega event witnessed exhibitors from more than 65 companies from different parts of the world. Here is day one. Hello and welcome to our exclusive coverage of the India Sports Expo 2014, India's largest international convention on business of sports. FICCI is India's only apex chamber of commerce with a dedicated sports division and full-time experts. Their mission is to ensure the government and the industry come together in their quest to fulfill the hidden potential of this sector. Day one began with great fanfare and activity as preparations got underway very early in the morning. From conferences to exhibition, there was a lot of excitement even as the sporting intellects addressed a large gathering and the media. The presence of delegates and personalities clearly reflected on the growing interest towards India's sports industry. The event was later followed by the launch of the book that highlighted primarily on the business of sports and how sports in India today is the most sought after business opportunity.
This paper talks about the sports industry and it also takes some predictions as to how in the upcoming decade an idea is going to be there as how the business will further expand in this area, what are the situation and trends in the market for sports and business in India. This information may be relevant not only to the foreign investors wanting to enter Indian market to do the business in this area, but also to the Indian firms and companies who are looking at sports as a big area as our chairman announced.
The defining moment of day one was when the chairman of FICCI Sports Committee, Sanjeev Paul, addressed the media. Sanjeev reiterated FICCI's vision, which is to facilitate and encourage development of sport in India by ensuring the involvement and support from business heads and committed stakeholders.
Every year, the Sports Committee of FICCI conducts an event called Turf. It's the flagship event of this committee. And this time, we have for the first time also brought in a exhibition called India Sports 2014. So this is the first time it has happened, and the exhibition is here at Major Dhyan Chand Stadium in Delhi. And you'll see the participants who have come in here. Just these participants have an exports worth 12,000 crores of sports apparel, of sports equipment going out from India. Much more can happen. In fact, the numbers have not been collated and could be mind-boggling. We don't even know what those total numbers are. And there is a need to collate all of them under a single umbrella. That's an effort. See, today, if you look in India, sports is not even considered as an industry. And if you look at the people who are just now involved in business in India, in sports, very fragmented. Through the Sports Committee of FICCI, what we are looking to do is to bring them all under the umbrella of industry. In fact, FICCI has made a suggestion and done some research and written papers to the government of India to make industry sports an industry, to classify sports and industry, just like on one point in time, entertainment was classified as an industry. So that there are benefits that these fragmented parts of business can get once it is classified as industry.
Meanwhile, co-chairman of FICCI Sports Committee, Abhijit Sarkar, too sounded upbeat on sporting opportunities, its growth and development. Sarkar called for support from the government and corporates, even as the focus was to secure more medals for the country.
It's an excellent venture and superb initiative by FICCI, and we are doing it for years. As rightly said in our discussion, that we were the people before the Commonwealth Games were saying that can India get a target of winning 100 medals? and ultimately they've won 100 medals in Commonwealth Games. But yeah, of course, we have a long way to go. There is not a sustained effort or planning in that. This is an excellent initiative, provided we get good support from government as well as the corporate. As I said to you, explained to you earlier, that combination in this platform, like you said about there are lots of manufacturers we don't even know and who are doing excellent, but there are manufacturers, for your information, who export equipment to other countries. The Australian cricket gear is supported by a company which we don't know. There are the helmets we are supported by a Jalandhar-based company, which all the cricketers wear, but we don't know. So it's all interrelated.
It was Sports Secretary for the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Ajit M Sharma, who was excited at the road ahead for Indian sports. Sharma was delighted with FICCI's effort and intent towards sports in India. Heaping praise on FICCI's vision and supervision over the years, Sharma added, the time is right for all sports enthusiasts to come together and revolutionize how sports is played and viewed in the country.
This is an excellent initiative taken by FICCI. In fact, they have been engaging with the government on sports for the last many years. This is probably the first exhibition, but nevertheless the engagement of FICCI has a long tradition, and they have done excellent work with us. In fact, the government has nominated them as the nodal agency for developing the Sector Skill Council on Sports, which will really be a game changer.
Sports in India over the years has evolved and expanded across wider horizons. The changing face of sports in India has prompted FICCI to believe that sports development can take an accelerated growth plan if identified stakeholders, investors proactively engage themselves in their bid to develop an ecosystem for the growth of sports. Not surprisingly, there was a plethora of delegates comprising of leading corporates, besides sports federations, sports authorities of states and sports personalities. Exhibitors from more than 65 companies from Germany, USA, Iran, India and much more were under one roof. An estimated number of over 5,000 business visitors varying from sports infrastructure, federations, media, venture capitalists came together realizing business and growth potential Indian sports offers. From suggesting policy reforms and connecting stakeholders, FICCI's sole objective is to stimulate sports development at all levels. Not surprisingly, this exhibition was a big hit on day one.
This exhibition is an eye-opener. I am told there's 20 exports of sports goods worth 12,000 crores which are taking place out of India. It's a very huge amount. There is such potential in sports industry and sports exports, sports-related exports, that I think we are just, it's a tremendous initiative and a good eye-opener for all of us.
Fair to say, sports sector is increasingly becoming strategic business units for many corporate houses in India. Be it sponsorship or scholarship, it's the business community who can be pivotal in the rise and reach of sports across the country. Make no mistake, it's a win-win situation for the country and the economy. Sports Secretary for the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Ajit M Sharma, congratulated FICCI for their unconditional support.
We have a very mature sports industry, and we also need to take it forward, and it's got a tremendous potential, I must say. Congratulations to FICCI on this.
Right, so it was a promising start to the India Sports Expo 2014. Opportunities galore. One thing is clear, sport is not only played as leisure today, it has a positive impact towards the development of individuals and growth of the economy. We have much more lined up on day 2, so join us tomorrow once again. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.